In this powerful video, Prophet Wisdom Ogbe reveals a deeply personal story from his youth, a narrative many of his own family members are hearing for the first time. At just 18 years old, a divine measure of wisdom was used to uncover a sophisticated spiritual setup and restore a home on the brink of destruction. While living with his aunt, a sudden scandal threatened her marriage when neighbors' children leveled a damaging claim against her husband, immediately demanding 1 million Naira for their silence. Watch as the young prophet, moving with a depth of wisdom that matches his name, calms the storm and reveals the hidden culprits behind the scenes. This is more than a testimony. It is a case study of a hidden attack and a 1 million Naira blackmail attempt that God used to stop a divorce before it could even start. A message for every home. If you are a married woman, or if you care deeply about the sanctity of the home, pay close attention. The loophole the enemy used then is the same one being used to tear families apart today. Sit back and watch as you learn how to shield your home against the plots of the adversary.
Today I'll be talking on prophetic wisdom for marital protection, the setup that failed. Long before my public ministry began, God demonstrated his prophetic assignments on my life through the most immediate seconds. My family. It is with deep gratitude and a mixture of astonishment that I share a case study from years ago. A story many of my family members will be hearing for the first time. It is the story of how God used a measure of wisdom given to an 18-year-old to restore and protect my aunt's marriage. When I was living with my aunt, a crisis hit that threatened to tear our home apart. One day, after her husband had left for work, my aunt called me into a discussion. She was clearly distressed. She relayed a disturbing story. A group of neighbors' children had approached her with a serious damaging claim, alleging inappropriate conduct by her husband. Worst yet, they immediately followed the claim with a demand. Your husband must give us 1 million Naira, or we will tell everyone. This case told my aunt that her husband molested them. And they told her husband to give them the sum of 1 million Naira, or they will tell his wife the situation at hand. My aunt, in shock and distress, had already confronted her husband. The situation was explosive. Having listened to my aunt, the diagnosis for such situation only demands a prophetic wisdom. Having heard the whole story, I told my aunt immediately, this is a setup. How did I know? I look at the circumstances through the lens of wisdom, not just emotion. When I was able to look at the implausible demands, the children were aged 5, 7, and 12. How could children that young know the exact financial value of 1 million Naira as at then? This pointed strongly to an adult being involved in coaching them for the purpose of exploitation and blackmail. This I told my aunt, that an adult is behind coaching them for the purpose of exploitation and blackmail, and that will be the mom of those kids. 2, I look at the spiritual targets. I knew their union was blessed. When couples are well-to-do, or when their union inspires jealousy, enemies will always look for a loophole to sow destruction. A claim like this is a classic weapon of the adversary used to cause shame and separation. Any couple that are together in love, well-doing, joyful, togetherness, neighbors around, witnessing true love among them, will always do what they can to separate them. I gave my aunt instruction that were counted intrusive, but divinely inspired. Our emotional states, as outlined in my book, How to Understand Your Woman, how to handle your emotional states. Any woman who lacks this may likely tear a marriage apart. My wisdom was simple. I told my hands, you are the gate. Control the gate. One, I told her, refuse the fight. I want her. If you turn this into a major fight with your husband, the news will spread. Out of shame, he may not want to return home. And your enemies will use that loophole to separate you permanently. Two, stand by your man. I told her, you are the only one who can stand by your husband in this time of trial. You must act like it never happened in your heart and stand with him. Terry, I told her, create a gap. I instructed her to give the children a strong, definitive warning never to come around her husband or their house again. She was to put a clear and immediate gap between the children and the family to shut down the communication line of the setup. Having counseled my aunt, she listened to my prophetic wisdom. My aunt obeyed. She chose wisdom over emotion. The marriage was not only saved, but was restored with a spark of love, unity, and happiness. The enemy set up faith because my aunt refused to become the primary agent of destruction. Here is the universal lesson for every married woman. This testimony is a vital lesson for every woman in a covenant marriage. Your loyalty is your power. The most painful thing for a man is to be rejected by the woman in love because of some news she had. Please stand by your man, even if everyone else rejects him. No matter what news you hear out there concerning your husband, as a wife, your number one duty is to stand by him. Don't push the man to those who want to nail him to the cross. What men expect of their woman is if no one stands by them, the woman should stand by them. As a man, even if the whole world is against you, as long as your woman stands by you, you will win the battle. Dear women, no matter what you hear about your husband, please endeavor to stand with him first. No matter the damage or the cost of what he must have done, please first stand with him. If the whole world doesn't believe in a man, it can't break that man. But if the woman whom he loved so much lacks the ability to defend and to stand with him, that breaks him easily than anything in the world. So approach with wisdom. Do not join others in spreading false news against your man. Always approach in facts, ask him hard, and control your response. So no matter what you hear about your man outside, listen to your man first. No matter what people say about your man, a wise woman listen to her man first. Three, emotional discipline is key. Many marriages are broken because of lack of wisdom and the inability to control emotions in crisis. You must remember the success of your marriage depends on you choosing wisdom over panic. In every given situation, choose wisdom first before giving in to panic. Choose wisdom first before giving in to crazy. Choose wisdom first before giving in to blackmailing. Choose wisdom first before giving in to propaganda. God has given you the power to build your home as a woman. Never allow external voices or fear to push your husband away. With that counsel, my auntie's marriage was restored and they were together until I left. I prayed that God give every married woman the wisdom and strength to protect and preserve her home in Jesus' name. As a woman, whatsoever you hear about your man, don't jump into conclusion. Take out time to look at the situation with wisdom. So as a woman, you are the gate to every marriage. As a married counselor, I will say this. Women are the gates to every marriage. So as a woman, do everything within your power to hold your marriage firm. Stand as the gates with wisdom to know what you should allow in and what you should allow out of your marriage. And I pray that God will give you such a wisdom. Please endeavor to get my 2 books, How to Understand Your Man and How to Understand Your Woman.
We believe you have been deeply enriched by today's teaching. To every woman in a covenant marriage, remember that your loyalty is not just a sentiment, it is your power. There is no pain more profound for a man, especially a man of God or a man of stature, than to feel rejected by the very person called to be his gatekeeper. When the world brings you reports or accusations against your husband, do not join the choir of accusers. Instead, go to him first to hear the truth. Control your emotional state, for your peace is magnetic and protective. Choose wisdom over panic, and you will do more than just save a marriage, you will create a spike of divine love that the enemy can never touch. Stay tuned for the next teaching with Wisdom Ogbe, where he will dive deeper into the case study of how his aunt was blackmailed and the specific prophetic steps taken to uncover the truth.